Hi, welcome to Kickstart 10. Did you know that you can alleviate or quickly recover from so many illnesses just by having the right diet and the right nutrition? Not only that, but if you keep your diet clean just for a few days each month, then you can really improve your health, your energy levels, your sleep patterns, and that's what Kickstart 10 is all about. It's about kickstarting your health and getting into some good, healthy living habits. So, how do we do it and who's it for? Well, for 10 days every month, you try and eat clean and eat in a healthy way by eliminating lots of things that we all know are bad for us. So, artificial foods that have got lots of sugars in, microwave meals and MSG and things like that. We also try and reduce our caffeine intake and alcohol intake, or get rid of both of those altogether. But the difference with Kickstart 10 and lots of other detox programs is that instead of trying to do everything all at once for as long as possible, we break it down and make it manageable so that you can celebrate your successes. This isn't about a punishment diet where you just think, I'm not allowed this and I'm not allowed that. It's about moderation. It's about being realistic with where you are up to now. The idea with Kickstart 10 is that you do it just for 10 days every month. I'm being upstaged by my puppy. Sorry about that. So for 10 days each month, you just eat clean. And we do that over a period of 4 months. So how do we do it? Well, for 10 days each month, we eat as clean as we can, and we also supplement our diets with the most critical nutrients of all. We've got vegetables in a capsule. Berries, they're superb for antioxidants. Anything that's dark blue or purple coloured has got cyanins in, which are great antioxidants. Here we've got fruit in a capsule. And here, this one isn't critical, but it's fantastic for anyone who suffers from brain fog or heart or eye problems. And these are the omega fatty acids. So all of these products are vegan friendly. And if you do take the 3 of them, fruit, veg and berries, you actually get 30 varieties of fruit and veg in your diet every day for 4 months. Now, can you imagine that? You couldn't possibly do that much shopping. You couldn't go out and get fruit and vegetables that's free of pesticides and that's got 98% of all the phytonutrients in, unless you had a farm or an orchard of your own. So that's why we supplement. And just for the record, I've been working in healthcare for nearly 20 years now, and I was never one for supplements because I thought, just eat a healthy diet. But actually, since I've trained in permaculture design and learned, I've trained as a herbalist as well, and I've learned about what's actually in the soil and the nutrients that get into the fruit and vegetables. And that's why I prefer not to have food from the supermarket, and I do supplement with Juice Plus. I also use Riverford, who have a vegetable box every week we have from them. So if you want to get organic vegetables, have a look into Riverford at riverford.co.uk, and you can get a delivery, and that will really complement this system that we're using here. So every day for 4 months, you take your fruit and vegetable capsules. Now, here's the Kickstart 10. For 10 days each month, you will have the Juice Plus Complete for breakfast or for lunch or both, and then have a wholesome evening meal. So Juice Plus Complete is, as it says, it's a complete meal replacement. You will see that in the instructions it says to add milk. And the reason for that is they have to measure the amount of nutrients in it in order to say it's a complete meal replacement. But really, we don't advise you to use cow's milk because it's just as good with soy milk or with hemp milk. And you just put a scoop like that into a mug of milk, and then you can blitz it. You can either just drink it as it is, or as I do, I always have some bananas on hand. And if you've got a NutriBullet, you can put the bananas in with your shake and with some hemp milk, or I put sometimes caraway seeds in, or all sorts. There's all sorts of recipes, and they will be included in the book that you'll get with this Kickstart 10 as well. So it is a varied diet, even though the fundamentals are the same. Now, for anybody who's out and about, you can have a sachet of Complete. So we've got chocolate and we've got vanilla, and then you just mix it up when you're at work, or if you're on the go, if you're going around town. It's really convenient. I like to use this. It has a little pot in the bottom to put the powder in. The reason we don't mix it before we go out is that this is just real food. It's dehydrated fruit and vegetables and food and grains and all sorts of things. But once it's exposed to the oxygen and it's mixed with the milk, whatever milk you use, it'll start to denature slightly, just as an apple denatures when you bite into it. Okay, so we just mix it when we're about to drink it. So this little pot screws onto the bottom of here to keep the powder separate. And then in the top, if I can just take this off, you can see that there's this, which is a little whisk that goes inside here. So when I put the milk in this top bit, and then when I'm ready to drink it, take the powder out of the bottom and mix it, put the lid on tightly, and then shake it up. And you're good to go. So in my case, it was great when I was in clinic, but for other people, if you're a taxi driver, then you can keep it in the cab with you, it's convenient. Or if you're a teacher, you can have it in your break time. So it's just fantastically convenient and a really easy way to kickstart your diet and eat healthily even when you're busy. And just as an aside, if you think about the cost of a ready meal, so I don't know, supposing you go to Boots or Tesco's and get one of their meal deals, they're about £3. One of these works out at £1.39 for a meal, for a complete meal. So whoever says healthy eating has to be expensive is not telling you the whole story, okay? So for the 10 days, instead of trying to do everything all at once, we break it down. So day 1, we look at the nutrition, and you actually think about what is nutritious, what you're putting into your body. And every mouthful that goes in your mouth, whether it's what you eat or what you drink, is either something that nourishes you and helps you grow, or it's poisonous for you. And there's not much in between. Either it's good for you or it's harmful. And so balance it out, okay? This is all about balancing what's healthy for you. So we'll discuss that on day 1. There'll be a video to accompany each day, and some recipe hints and tips, and there'll be exercises as well. Day 2, we want to look at moving more. So instead of taking the lift up to the 1st or 2nd floor at work, then maybe you can walk up the stairs instead. Or those of you who've got a pedometer, pay a little bit more attention to how many steps you do each day. And we'll just focus on getting moving, on even doing shoulder circles and just moving our body. And that stimulates the circulation to help flush out the toxins. Then day 3, we look at what we drink, at hydration. This isn't about alcohol, this is about water and hydrating your body, and also having foods that nourish your body as well. So in herbal medicine, what we talk about is how anything that's roasted dries out your food. It's nice and crunchy, but it's not nourishing and hydrating your body. So we'll discuss that in a bit more detail. Day 4, sleep. A lot of people suffer from sleep problems, and so that's something that we'll be discussing on day 4, looking at what you can do to maximize your sleep, what you can do to make sure it's deeper, and also how to de-stress before bedtime as well, so that you can have a peaceful sleep without waking up with that 3 o'clock in the morning feeling. Day 5, we finally broach the caffeine word. This is the part of a detox that a lot of people find to be the biggest challenge. because until you really stop and think about it, you probably don't realize just how much caffeine you have. And coming off it is like coming off a drug. So for that day, you may get a headache, you may feel out of sorts, but just know that that's when the real detoxification happens. That's when the real benefits are happening to your body, because it's eliminating all of those things that it does not need. Okay, so that's day 5, getting rid of caffeine. We'll also look at a fantastic alternative, because there's not all caffeine is created equal. So there's a good alternative to having your morning coffee, something that can give you a lot more B vitamins to boost your mood, and some natural energy boosters as well, with natural caffeine from yerba mate and all sorts of other fantastic things. So we'll talk about that on day 5. Day 6, we'll talk about sugar. How highly addictive is sugar? Okay, if you have a bar of chocolate one day, you want 2 the next day. So we'll look at ways of starting to get that out of our system, of battling those cravings when we just want a quick fix to give us some energy. What can you do about it? How can you overcome that? And how fantastic you'll feel once you do. Okay, so this is why we do everything one day at a time now. Day 7, we'll look at whole grains, what they are, where you find them, and why they're so good for you. Day 8, we'll look at alcohol intake and some of the different myths around it. So obviously some people say red wine is good for you because it's got iron in it. Others say no, you shouldn't have any alcohol at all. So we'll look at what's the right balance for you and what's realistic. Remember, this is a kickstart nutrition plan. It's not a set of rules, it's a set of guidelines, and we just want to excuse me, make it fun and as manageable as possible. Day 9, we'll look at the time of day that you eat. Now, as I said, I've been practicing Chinese medicine for many, many years, and one of the important things we consider there is not just what we eat, but when we eat it and what we want to get from our food. Okay, do we want energy to see us through the day? Do we want energy for exercise? Or do we need to recuperate and nourish our body? And so we'll look at what time we eat which foods. And then finally, day 10 is a time of celebration. Okay, for so many diets, we just say, you know, I should have done this, I shouldn't have eaten that, and it's all about shoulds and would have done this and could have done that. No, with this, we celebrate our successes one day at a time. And so that's a roundup of the 10-day detox and the focus of each day. Then once we've done that, we'll look at the way forward and what you can do for the coming month or 4 months while you have the gap in between detox, because ideally you would have this 10-day kickstart each month for at least 4 months. And that will get rid of a lot of the toxins in your body, the free radicals that a lot of people have heard about. There's all sorts of reasons why this will benefit your health overall. Not only that, but if you do have any serious health problems and you're having medical attention for it, then getting your diet right will really make that work better. So, for those of you who feel inclined to join me, I do this every single month. That's how I've not had a day off clinic through illness in the last 5 years since I've been doing it. So join me and several other healthcare professionals, and all of us will do this together. You'll get one-to-one support as you do it. You'll have nutritionists on hand to answer any questions that you have. We can give you motivational advice, weekly calls, whatever you need to kickstart your health and get you back on track. So if you'd like to join us for the next one, then order your products below. You can choose from the bronze, silver or gold package. If there's anything I can do to help, then schedule a call with me and we can go through it together. So have fun, and I'll see you on the next Kickstart 10.